Before the first swing was even taken, critics had already dismissed Charlie's chances entirely. As he entered the back nine, he found himself 5 strokes behind, while facing the planet's most formidable junior golfer. Adding to his challenges were physical ailments severe enough to make most competitors withdraw. The pundits didn't merely favor Miles Russell. They ridiculed any suggestion that the son of Tiger Woods could stage a recovery. Even his caddy maintained the hushed demeanor typical of those witnessing a foregone conclusion. Yet what unfolded across those final 9 holes defied all conventional wisdom and statistical likelihood. Contradicting everything analysts believed about performing under extreme pressure, at the 18th hole's conclusion, Charlie accomplished something genuinely extraordinary. If you wish to witness junior golf's most remarkable turnaround and understand what distinguishes ordinary athletes from legends, keep watching. This instance confirms the Woods legacy maintains its singular mystique. The complete backstory is essential to grasp this moment's significance. This competition wasn't merely recreational, it served as a qualifying event for the U.S. Junior Amateur Championship. Victory here guaranteed entry to one of golf's most esteemed platforms. College recruiters observed carefully, compiling evaluations that would determine scholarship offers valued in the hundreds of thousands and assess which young players possess the psychological resilience required for PGA Tour competition. Miles Russell entered as the prohibitive favorite. Despite being only 14, he'd already created history by becoming the youngest competitor to survive the cut on the Korn Ferry Tour. That bears repeating. At 14, he was defeating adult professionals. With families and years of competitive experience, he wasn't simply participating, he was dominating. His technique was impeccable, and his strategic decision-making rivaled seasoned professionals. To observers, Miles wasn't merely golf's future, he was actively transforming teenage achievement. Opposite him stood Charlie Woods, bearer of a family name that functions simultaneously as the sport's greatest advantage and its heaviest burden. Each stroke he executes gets compared to his father's 15 major championships. Every competition becomes an examination of whether the Woods legacy can genuinely continue. The expectation transcends simply winning, it's about proving himself worthy of Tiger's towering legacy. What the public didn't know was that Charlie was physically compromised. A persistent wrist problem had intensified during practice. In golf, even slight wrist damage can demolish your technique. Your grip weakens, your swing path distorts, and confidence evaporates when your body won't execute mental commands. His support team actually discussed withdrawing, recommending rest and recovery. But Charlie displayed a particular intensity. In his expression, the identical determination Tiger exhibited, winning the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines, despite a fractured leg. The Woods bloodline simply refuses to surrender. It's fundamental to their character. The match's opening half proved torturous for Charlie's fans. His performance wasn't substandard. His ball contact was actually solid, but Miles performed like clockwork, recording birdies on the 2nd, 4th, and 7th holes. Plus a spectacular eagle on the par 5/6, Miles electrified the spectators. Meanwhile, Charlie was merely maintaining position with pars. At the halfway point, Miles commanded a 5-stroke advantage. In this competition format, a 5-shot disadvantage with 9 remaining holes represents an enormous obstacle. Indicates you must outperform your rival by half a stroke on every subsequent hole, merely to draw even. You need your competitor to falter while you execute flawlessly. The ESPN commentary team was already shifting narratives, memorializing Charlie's attempt in anointing Miles. One commentator actually stated that while Charlie demonstrated quality, Miles represented true excellence. Social platforms transformed that comment into widespread headlines. The outcome appeared decided. Everything transformed at the 10th tee. His caddy subsequently described it as a complete mental shift. Charlie's presence changed. The injury remained, the deficit persisted, but his approach evolved from survival mode to total aggression. The 10th hole, a par 4, Charlie rejected. The conservative approach had launched his driver directly over a hazardous bunker. He executed a perfect draw, positioning himself for a straightforward wedge approach. He converted the 8-foot birdie opportunity, deficit, for strokes. The 11th hole, a par 3. Despite wrist discomfort, Charlie aimed directly at a flag position dangerously near water. While Miles selected the safe center target, Charlie positioned his ball 6 feet away and made the putt. Deficit, 3 strokes. The atmosphere transformed. As transcended scorekeeping Charlie was attacking. The 12th hole, a par 5, Miles struck. A powerful drive, but his follow-up shot caught an embankment and rolled away from the green. Charlie, restricted by his wrist condition, couldn't match Miles's distance. But he selected a 3-wood for his second attempt and struck it brilliantly to 12 feet. Charlie sank the eagle. Miles missed his birdie. Suddenly, the advantage had shrunk to 1 stroke. You could observe the impact on Miles. He wasn't crumbling, but his tempo accelerated, a telltale indicator of increasing pressure. Charlie had commandeered the match's psychological control. Following traded pars on holes 13, 14, and 15, they arrived at the 16th. A par 3. Miles executed a cautious shot to 40 feet. Charlie, declining safety, attacked the flagstick. The match was level. The golf community was stunned. 5-stroke. Lead had vanished within an hour. Miles appeared shell-shocked. After a tense shared par on 17, they proceeded to the 18th hole of 425-yard par 4, with water protecting the entire left boundary. Miles played conservatively, finding the fairway to guarantee, at minimum, a playoff. Charlie, however, had no interest in extra holes. He selected the most daring trajectory possible, driving over the water to shorten the distance. It was a substantial risk that left his caddy holding his breath, but it succeeded. The ball stopped mere feet from the flagstick. Crowd exploded. Miles's lengthy birdie attempt missed. Charlie approached his 4-foot putt and confidently rolled it into the hole's center. Charlie Woods had achieved it. From 5 strokes down to victory at the 18th, he demonstrated that his surname isn't a liability but rather a benchmark to pursue. While Miles Russell exhibited tremendous sportsmanship in defeat, the day belonged to the young man who refused. Defeat, Charlie proved that champions don't merely participate, they shape outcomes through willpower. He validated his father's essential teaching: impossibility is merely perspective, and pressure is opportunity.